Hey, what's up everyone? David here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm very excited to be joined by my good friend of the channel, KingNarukami45. How you doing, my friend?
What's up, guys? A lot of exciting stuff happening lately, and I'm happy to discuss it on your channel, David, so thank you for having me.
Oh, it's gonna be very fun because of course I'm not saying anything new. I'm sure you all are aware of what's happening right now, but Persona 5 Tactica is a thing, and most importantly, Persona 3 Reload, which is a Persona 3 remake, are real and they will be announced tomorrow during the Xbox Game Showcase that I will be streaming on the channel. Make sure you check that out, link in the description. Speaking of links in the description, I have King's socials in the description. Make sure to check him out. He made a video about those announcements as well, so make sure you give that a watch if you are interested, and why not subscribe while you're at it. Hey, let's get into it, dude. I want to start with Persona 5 Tactica. What we want to do today is just discuss our overall reaction to what we saw, to the gameplay, and of course discuss additional information that could be interesting as well, like potential platforms. I know there was leaks, we'll touch on those as well. Release dates for Reload and everything, so it's gonna be very interesting. Let's get into it. I'm excited. I don't even know where you're at with most of these announcements. We're recording this early, so it should be really fun. Hey, Persona 5 Tactica. It was announced, November release date for this year. It is a strategy RPG, and it looks special. What are your thoughts, my dude?
It does. I'm still warming up to the art style. It's a chibi art style. It reminds me a lot of the Persona Q games, which is not inherently a bad thing. It's just gonna, after playing P5R so many times and, strikers and even dancing, I'm so used to like the regular 3D models that they use. So it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. Now, the actual gameplay, I mean, it looks fun. I'm terrible at strategy RPGs, so I'll probably play it on easy. My hype level for this, I don't know where you're at, David, but it's like, and I think a lot of people are lying because, we both did P5 videos, everything recently. I got a lot less traction on my P5T video, and I believe you did as well for your reaction.
Same.
So I think the hype level compared to Reload is very, it's like a third of the hype level of Reload. I think people are just ready to move on to Persona 6 at this point, but I'm still going to play it, and I'm still going to have a good time, I think I'll have a good time reuniting with the fan of things. What's your hype level?
Yeah, well, to be fair, just to touch on what you just said, I feel like it's really interesting to talk about that. But when you compare both P3 Reload and P5 Tactica, which is something that we'll do throughout this whole video for sure, because they are getting revealed at the same time, it's not fair to compare them. One is a remake of a game that was the most requested Persona remake in Japan. In the West, I feel like it is the most wanted remake as well, but there's no poll confirming that. And it's been something that fans have been asking for ever since Portable released on PSP, because there was no definitive version of P3. So the excitement is there. It's normal. The other one is exactly what you said. It is another Persona 5 spinoff. Now, looking at it, yeah, I'm getting what you're saying. I have to be a little bit more tough, I think, on it than you just went on it, because to me, I like what I'm seeing in terms of gameplay, like the strategy RPG style of gameplay I'm into. It looks good. It's something new for, not for ATLUS, but it's something new for Persona, and I'm down for it. I don't like the visuals, man. I don't. I prefer Persona Q. I think they look strange, and I don't like them. I don't. I'm not sure what's the problem. I don't know if I'm alone, but when I watched it and I reacted to it at first, I was like, those visuals are interesting. But now, to be honest, the more I look at them, I don't like how this thing look, and it feels strange because, Persona, it's always like visually impressive, but not in terms of graphics, in terms of art style. And I'm not referring to the graphics here. I don't care about the graphics. I think they look fine. It's the art direction that looks a little strange to me. The gameplay looks great. From what I'm seeing, it's way more XCOM style than something like Fire Emblem. And I'm down for that. I like these styles of games. I feel like it's going to be different, and it's going to feel unique.
See, it's like, this is something me and my fiance have kept on saying. I feel like they made this game, like this is definitely a game that I'm going to play on the Switch. This is not something I'm going to play on my PS5 or anything. This looks like it was tailor-made for the Switch, even though revealing this at the Microsoft press conference. This looks like a Switch game. It reminds me of Mario Rabbids. The art style, like I said, I'm still warming up to it. I'm still not like sold.
Same.
It's weird.
To be fair, I'm sold on it. Like, I'll play it day one, but for now, I have an issue with the visuals going in, and maybe they will grow on me. I don't know. We're months from release. The game's 5 months away, so it can change quite a bit. But the art style is there. That's what we're getting. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what else they have to show. You brought up platforms, saying Switch. For now, the game is confirmed, as I said, for November. It is coming out on PC through the Windows stores. For now, that's what's confirmed. Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox Series platforms, and it's going to be on Game Pass day one. We don't know about anything else. Now, this is clear to me, and I want to hear you on this as well, but this is clear that it's not a PC and Xbox exclusive to me. It is the same type of marketing deal that Xbox and Microsoft paid ATLUS for, just like last year with the Persona 25th anniversary ports. Microsoft announced them, and then a few days after, PlayStation was confirmed, and a few days after, Nintendo was confirmed. I feel like this is going to be a similar scenario. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like people haven't learned from last year. I keep on getting comments, and I keep on reading people saying, why is this still an Xbox exclusive? I'm like, they just pay for the advertising rights. It hasn't even been revealed yet. It won't be revealed until tomorrow on the 11th at the Microsoft press conference officially, even though the trailers got leaked online. It's just an advertisement deal, people. They are not going to, ATLUS is not going to put their two big RPG releases that they have planned right now only on Xbox.
Nope.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. That's not going to happen. If you want it to fail, sure, but that's just not going to happen.
I'm glad it's coming out on Xbox, but I'm ready to put myself out there. This game is not going to be exclusive to Xbox. It would be in the trailers. Believe me. If Microsoft paid for exclusivity, it would be first up on screen before the game was even shown. Exclusive, and it's not the case. So it's gonna come on other platforms. It's just a marketing deal. What is this game running on, though? This is something that I wanted to discuss, because again, you mentioned Switch. My community here knows I'm all into Switch because of portable play. I like to play my games on Switch, and as you said, I feel like this game could absolutely run and could be ported on Switch and be there day one alongside other versions, because it looks like something from the PS3 era, right? It doesn't look special at all. It looks simple, which is fine, which is totally fine. We don't have an engine for this one. You know what I'm feeling?
What's that?
It's a Unity game again. That's what I'm thinking. Just like Soul Hackers 2, just like Nocturne HD, it's a Unity game. That's why there was no engine in the trailer. That's what I'm thinking for now. It's just speculation, though. I have no idea.
Wouldn't be surprising. I mean, it would be surprising. The Unity is something that developers use, and it's easier than a lot of other things. Apparently, right now, I'm not a developer, and I want to preface this when I say that the game wouldn't do well on just Xbox. I know people are going to be saying, "Oh, King's like is a Xbox hater and everything." I'm like, bro, it's. There's a reason FF7 Remake probably isn't on Xbox. I mean, they probably just don't see the time. Or FF15 even. I don't think even 15 is on Xbox.
Yeah, 15 is. 16 won't be.
It is? Yeah. Okay, 16 won't be. Maybe Sony paid for some exclusivity deals, but it's just the fact that, these RPGs don't typically sell as well on the Xbox consoles. It's just a fact of life, people. It's not me hating. It's just a fact of life.
So this is pretty much what we had to say about Persona 5 Tactica. I do want to shout out the audio because we could hear Lynn being back with a new track that sounded absolutely great. So I'm down for that, totally.
Yes. Anytime Lynn is involved in anything, I'm cool with it.
Yep. Even at the Game Awards. Good show. And when she was there, it was great. So this is Persona 5 Tactica. I'm here for it. I'm looking forward to it. We'll cover that game on the channel, and hopefully it releases on all platforms. We'll hear about that next week. I'll make sure to report on that, so make sure you are subscribed and you ring the notification bell if you want to stay up to date. That was a shameless plug. Before we move on to Persona 3 Reload, the remake. This is where the excitement is at, right?
Yes. This is where I'm sure this is 85% of the people that are clicking on the video right now.
And there's a lot of interesting thing to discuss. First of all, your reaction. Well, I can start since you started with the other one. My reaction to this one was, hey, this is what I was hoping for. I was in the camp of Persona 3 doesn't need a remake, and I still feel it didn't need one. I'm excited there is one though, and I will be there day one for sure. Now, when I was speculating about P3 Remake because I thought it was going to be a real thing, what I was hoping for specifically is a Tartarus overall. We're not too sure about what that is going to be in that remake, if there is going to be changes or big changes to Tartarus, structural changes. We don't know that yet from what we've seen. I also asked about better ways and more diverse and more fun ways to explore the school and cities and stuff. Seems like they delivered. It looks great when you're exploring the environments, the school and everything. It very much is it reminds me of Persona 5 quite a bit in terms of visuals.
It does, and that is not a bad thing at all. It's the biggest selling title for ATLUS, so of course they're going to try to make it, as accessible to people that have played Persona 5, that have not played Persona 3 and didn't want to dip on the P3P port. The menus look amazing, dude. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that water effect when you go into the menu. Dude, oh my god, that's so good. Yeah. And people are like, what's up with the water thing? Hey, I don't know, but it looks awesome. Apparently, like, it's like, people have said, like, depression is like being pulled down to the bottom of the ocean. So that might be a thing.
Yep.
The menus look sleek. The character models, I think, look really good. The in-game character models, portraits,
portraits are looking clean. I've seen people crying about them on Twitter already, but this is Twitter. We don't really care about Twitter. Hey, first things first, I think they look great. The models, the visuals. I'm glad you brought up the menu and the menus and UIs because, damn, it looks good. It looks really crisp, and this is the Persona team style now. They want to make these games stand out. They want to make them beautiful, and they're succeeding for real. I'm glad they took inspiration from P5 on this one. This is not a bad way to take inspiration from P5, in my opinion.
No, not at all. And the only real complaint I have is very nitpicky. It's that the battle UI,
it's a little simple.
Persona 3. Yeah, on Persona 3, there was like a whole like gun chamber and everything that you would select your option. I'm kind of bummed that they got rid of that, but it's just a very small thing. I mean, it could change. That's probably an early build, a very early build that we saw. Mm-hmm. So anything can change, and like you said, you saw people on Twitter complaining. Twitter is not real life.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like the people that are complaining about it, I feel like just we haven't seen a lot of it yet. If you want to complain, that's fine. If you want to point out problems like I did, that's fine. But I don't think it's very fair to complain quite yet about the game when we've only seen like up to 60 seconds of it.
I have to agree. And there's potential for the trailers tomorrow at the Xbox show to be longer. We don't know if this was just a trailer that was planned for social media advertisements like Twitter and Instagram, or if it was the real trailer. We don't know. Both of these reveal trailers are shorter than regular ATLUS trailers, so in my mind, there's still potential for more tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. Nothing's confirmed, but I'm hoping for more. Now, this trailer did tell us a few things other than the actual content of the game. We saw more. I'll get back to those elements in just a second, platforms, engine, and everything. But I do want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is FES content with the answer and portable content with the female main character and the soundtrack. So where do you stand with this? Because to me, this trailer does not confirm the presence of FES content and portable content. It does not confirm or deconfirm both the content from these games, to me at least.
I think you're best setting your expectations as you're not going to see either of those in the game, unless it's like they added the Elizabeth social link in FES. I can see that returning 1000%. But as far as the answer and the FeMC routes, I think it's best to set your expectations as not seeing it. It's something that I expected to not see. I think they're going to remake the core game, just the core game. I'm sure we'll discuss DLC later, but it's right now, expect the core game. And if they do add FES content and FeMC and they just haven't revealed it yet, you could be surprised then, and we can all celebrate. But I'm okay with them just remaking the core game, because that's how I set my expectations going into this. What about you?
That's the right way to look at it. To me, you're remaking the game. You don't remake games normally, and this is a game that isn't famous for not having a definitive edition of the game. So do you really want to put out a fourth version of that game and it not being a definitive version? Like, there's still going to be videos out there saying which game should you play. Should you play vanilla? Should you play FES? Should you play portable? Or should you play reload? There's still going to be these questions asked every single day if they don't put this content in. To me, that would be a massive missed opportunity. Now, you mentioned DLC, and we're sadly going to talk about this because, unfortunately, I feel like it's possible, sadly. But to me, a remake, full $60 remake, no matter how highly anticipated it is, it needs to be complete, feature complete, content complete. And sadly, I have to agree with you that it's quite possible that it won't be. We'll have to wait and see. You brought it up first, so why don't you go ahead? DLC. What do you think they could do with this one?
Unfortunately, definitely Persona 5 skins. Definitely Persona 5 skins. Maybe bringing back some of the more classic tracks that they're using in the soundtrack that they're not going to use in the soundtrack. Because obviously we heard a new Lotus Juice song in the new trailer and everything. So I could see like a music pack, including like P4 P5 music. And we can discuss this, but I'm still not sure if they're going to do FeMC as DLC if she's not in the base game. But DLC is just a way of life, unfortunately. We'll definitely see some music packs, we'll see some Persona packs, and we'll see probably some skin packs, like some outfit packs. And that's just the way of life. And, of course, 4 days early access for the Digital Deluxe.
I'm hoping there's no DLC again for the simple reason that this is a remake. I was in the front lines complaining when Persona 5 was revealed that there was going to be $50 worth of DLC on day one. I felt like this was bullshit. They were reselling Persona 5 at $60 2 years after the original came out, and it was easy to find at $20. At that point, I was mad when I saw $50 of DLC. Now, when they re-released P5R, at least they gave us the DLC. But to me, when you re-release a game at full price, it needs to be content complete. So again, I'm probably setting myself up for disappointment, but that's what I'm hoping for, this one.
Hey, so we all have different expectations, and you are known for being a dumbass with actual expectations.
Pretty much. Speaking of actual expectations, I know this is something that people will want us to discuss for sure, myself included. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. Yesterday, late at night, that would be the 9th, June 9th, there was a new leak. Take this with a grain of salt, a major one, if you will. I posted that on my community page here on the channel. Once again, if you want those smaller updates, make sure that notification bell is rang. But a Spanish retailer called Extra Life, which is a retailer that I'm not familiar with, they put up listings for Persona 3 Reload. And the reason why it's interesting is it's $60, not $70, and that's reassuring because I'm not ready for, in my mind, Sega and ATLUS are not ready for $70 for DLC practices and a bunch of other reasons. I made a video about that. You can check that out if you are interested. Not $70, it is $60, but most interestingly, it is for sale on all platforms physically. So we're talking Xbox, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch. All physical versions ready to pre-order on that site. It is the only retailer. It's a small retailer from Spanish region that I've not heard before. It's not Amazon. It's not Best Buy. It's not... I'd be careful with this one, y'all. Be careful. I'm the first in line wanting and praying for a Switch version of that one. The main thing for me is we saw that engine at the beginning of the trailer. It's an Unreal Engine game. And Unreal Engine games can run on Switch for sure, but they are known to be harder to make work on Switch. There is not a ton of Unreal Engine games on Switch. There is not a ton of Unreal Engine games that run well on Switch. I know SMT5 is the only ATLUS example of an Unreal Engine game on Switch. That took 6 years to develop. Hey, fingers crossed for this one. Where are you at, though?
There's no way it's not going to be on Switch.
It's not?
No, and no, there's no way it's not going. It's going to be on Switch, 1000%.
I hope you're right. I'm not as confident as you are, though.
Now, whether or not the game will up to people's expectations, I don't know. At the end of the day, it still is a turn-based JRPG.
It's gonna be 30 frames per second. It's gonna be the resolution's gonna be lower than other platforms, but
the Switch is too big to ignore, especially for a re-release that's so especially for a remake that's so requested like this. It's definitely going to be on Xbox. And PlayStation. It's definitely going to be on PlayStation for sure. There's no way the only console is going to be Xbox. The PlayStation 5 is even selling very well over in Japan right now. It's just picking up some steam. And now, what's interesting to me is that they also listed PS4 versions and the Xbox One version.
Which is good. Good, because Japan, if you don't have a PS4 version and you don't have a Switch version, this thing's gonna flop, man. No matter if it's Persona or not, it's gonna flop. You need that PS4 version or that Switch version. I'm not confident, as confident as you are about a Switch version. If there's no Switch version, they need a PS4 version for Japan.
I'm just ready to move on, man.
I am as well, dude.
Move on.
I am as well, but I'm just saying, in terms of sales, if they don't have a PS4 version,
right,
Japan is gonna struggle with sales. Anyways, Switch is interesting. Unreal Engine is making me doubt this. You said how they can't ignore Switch. I agree with you, but if you look back to 10 months ago, Soul Hackers 2 is a game that needed it in all caps, bold letters. Okay? It needed it. It needed that Switch version, and it did not get it. It was a Unity game and not an Unreal Engine game. There's no reason for that game not to be on Switch, and it's still not on Switch a year after release. That leads me to believe that it's very possible, even though they should not ignore the Switch, it's very possible for ATLUS to ignore it again.
Heck, you're right, dude. Yeah. Oh, God. I almost forgot that Soul Hackers 2 never received that Switch port.
I'm destroying
it's mind-boggling to me. Dude, it's just mind-boggling to me. Like you said, that needed a Switch port. And I feel like this will need one as well, but
not as much, dude. That's the thing. Not as it needs it. I agree. The Switch is a hot item. It sells so well everywhere in the world. But this is Persona 3 getting remade. It's gonna do fine even without a Switch version. Soul Hackers 2 was planned for failure before it launched.
Right.
Like, a lot of things were dragging it down for sure. The lack of Switch version is a pillar in that failure, in my opinion. But hey, at least we know it's going to be multiplat. I fully agree. Otherwise, that it's going to be on everything else. Unreal Engine makes me doubt. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. I'm just excited that this is a real game. It looks good. It sounds good. And it feels like it's going to play good from what we've seen. So I'm just very excited to see more. And we'll cover that on both our channels, I assume, in the future, right?
Oh, 1000%. I can't wait to talk more about it. I just hope that within a week's time, which was the case last time, because didn't ATLUS release a press release when P5R was announced, like days later, saying, hey, it's coming to PlayStation as well? It
was 3 or 4 days after the Xbox show, and Switch was like 2 weeks after, during a partner showcase, which I think we're going to get a partner showcase in June as well. So fingers crossed for that one.
Yeah, I really hope so. So I expect it at least on PlayStation. Yes.
Totally. Oh, yeah.
Yes. We're just worrying about the PlayStation version.
Please don't, because it's going to be there. Is there anything else that you would like to add or say before we wrap things up about P5T or P3RE?
I do, because you never spoke about your expectations for FeMC as DLC.
I'm just hoping there's no DLC at all. Not just FeMC. I just don't want no DLC for a remake. For a full price remake. I want everything to be there, both FES content and portable content. I did say, I know you tweeted about, before the game even leaked, you tweeted about P3 Remake lacking Katone or FeMC as a playable character, and I was one of the first person to reply to that tweet, which pretty much went viral after that. I just said, hey, if she isn't there, it's a bummer, because she needed to be there. It's content that a lot of fans want. I don't necessarily care for it specifically, but it's still a bummer because I feel like it should be there. I'm not gonna cry over it.
Yeah, Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna cry over it if it's DLC though, because that's a dick move.
Right. That would be awful. Even my fiance, who is like loved her route and everything in P3P, doesn't care as much. She's not expecting it.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, man. It's just ATLUS has a chance to do something unprecedented by making this definitive version, and I don't think it's going to happen. We could be totally wrong, and she could be revealed months later. But from the way it's looking right now, the box art, the gameplay that they've shown, nothing.
We'll have to wait and see, but it's definitely an interesting release that we'll keep our eyes on for sure. Dude, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you all so much for listening to us ramble for 25 minutes. I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you drop a thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all your ATLUS news. And make sure to check out my friend KingNarukami45 on youtube.com for great ATLUS content. Have a great day, y'all. We'll see you soon tomorrow for the Xbox Game Showcase more specifically. Bye.
Bend over, David. I'm ready.
Motherfucker.